Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Big Blonde and Beautiful, the podcast. If you're new here, my name's Kara Howie. I'm your host, and normally each week I pick a piece of media that has fat representation in it, and I talk about it, and I give you my opinion on whether or not I think it's positive or negative fat representation. But this week is a little different. Just like last week, this is a mini episode, and we're going to be talking about fat tropes. So if you missed last week, go back and listen. I explained more in detail what a trope is, so you'll be able to have a little bit more context for this episode if you aren't sure what it is, or you could just Google it. Just, what is a trope in cinema? Search. Either way, we will be back with our regular episodes on October 18th. But until then, I hope that you guys enjoy these mini episodes and that you're able to learn a little bit about why fat tropes can be harmful. So this week, we will specifically be addressing the stupid fat guy trope. For me, this trope makes me think of characters like Jerry/Gary/Larry Gergich from Parks and Rec. You know, it's the type of character where he's a guy, he has a steady job, a healthy marriage to a beautiful woman. He has 3 beautiful daughters, but still he is the butt of every joke, and it is because of his size and his stupidity. I think this trope can absolutely apply to women, but traditionally it definitely falls on the male characters. I also think of characters I grew up watching as a child, like Woody from Sweet Life on Deck, Gibby from iCarly. Like, these shows were staples in my childhood, and they had this stupid fat guy trope. Now, these characters generally are lovable, but they're not the brightest bulb in the chandelier, if you know what I'm saying. Pair that with being overweight, and to Hollywood, it's just hilarious. As I was doing my research for this episode, I found that this trope is actually most common in animation. I'm not a big adult cartoon watcher, so I had to do some digging, but characters like Homer Simpson, Peter Griffin, Patrick Star, the list just goes on and on and on. Now, some of you might be thinking, hey, these are some of my favorite characters, or these are some of my favorite shows. What's wrong with enjoying that? And to that, I say nothing. I still enjoy sometimes rewatching some of these shows. The problem with tropes lies in that they just are repeated over and over again, and they're so inaccurate and harmful, and a lot of times they make fun of the person's appearance, that it just makes it negative and makes it harmful to fat people. And it can also spread misinformation. Our representation of any group, especially those that are marginalized, should be complex and accurate, and unfortunately that is rarely the case. Like, why does he have to be fat and stupid? I feel like there are so many characteristics that are linked with fat people that are so inaccurate. Like, they're always funny, they're always clumsy, they're always stupid, and those, some people are. I'm very clumsy. I always have said, how people are like, the clumsiness of girls in rom-coms is so inaccurate. Babe, take a look at my life. It is not inaccurate. I have fallen on my face in front of so many people. I broke my foot by tripping. Didn't even fall. Anyway, that's not the point of this episode. The point is, fat funny guy tropes, it's everywhere. I feel like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I watch media with fat women more than fat men. I just feel like fat men, I don't see a lot of characters unless they're something like this. So if you can think of characters that, like, if you think that fat men are cast more than fat women, please let me know, because I don't know, maybe it's just what I watch, which is very possible. Anyway, thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed this mini episode number 2. There'll be another one out next week. That one will be focusing on the formerly fat trope, which is just a good time. Again, season 2 will air on October 18th, so please keep an eye out for that. As always, I would love it if you shared this podcast, if you rated us 5 stars, if you followed, subscribed, liked, just did all the things so that this podcast can reach more people. You can follow the podcast on TikTok at bbb.thepodcast and Instagram at bbb.podcast. You can also follow me, your host. Sorry, my cat. You can also follow me, your host, on Instagram and TikTok at Carolina Howie. And until next week, stay fat and fabulous. Bye.